I'm Grace Goldstein from the Carcinoid Cancer Foundation, and we're the oldest foundation for carcinoid and neuroendocrine tumors in the United States. In 2018, we're going to be 50 years old. I told this to Josh one day, and he was really surprised, so I'm going to tell everybody here, because I don't think people know, but our logo is actually based on the serotonin molecule. So that's how we came up with the logo. And this is Dr. Richard Warner, who many of you have heard about, read about, perhaps even seen. He's the founder of the foundation, and he's a NET specialist with decades of experience. Somebody just wrote about him. 60 years working with NET patients. He's the first person to identify carcinoid syndrome in a lung carcinoid patient. And this is our mission. So clearly we have work to do for a long, long time. And that's what motivates us. We are primarily dedicated to education and awareness. We also do patient advocacy and support. We have a toll-free telephone, and people call us from all over. We also do emails. Interestingly, we get requests from people everywhere in the world. One of the best things about working with INCA is that I can say to a lot of people, hey, did you know that you actually have a wonderful resource in your own country? And I've connected people with the NET Patient Foundation, the Unicorn Foundation, CNET Singapore, CNET India. It's terrific, CNET Canada. To highlight some of the things that we do that I think are a little different is we have our own app. This is a project that we did with a company in Canada. And for right now, it's for the United States and Canada, but we will be rolling it out to some additional countries. Ronnie, you'll be the first to know. Won't even announce it. But this is an opportunity to do what a lot has been talked about today with unmet needs, where people can connect with others. They have circles of support on it. It's a medication tracker. It's a symptom tracker. It even includes a stool diary. And Giovanna, who was here earlier, she very graciously allowed us. She's a classically trained musician and composer. And when she had surgery, she composed music in honor of the nurse who took care of her. Very soothing, lovely music, and she allowed us to include it in the app. Through the app, we're also able to do research. So we did one project called Project Zebra, and the report is on our website. There were about 250 people who participated, and again, the things that came up today were exactly what has been talked about through this project. People identifying where the unmet needs are, what they wanted to get, more information about, how they recommended the importance of a NET specialist. More information, very high up, was information on diet and nutrition. This is on our website if you want to take a look at the report. Another project that we did that was a first, this past October we had a Carcinoid Syndrome Roundtable. And these are the participants for the most part. We had NET specialists, we had NET nurses, a NET nutritionist, patient advocates, patients, and it was the very first time these people got together in a room to sit there and talk one-on-one. We had a facilitator who was a physician but not within the NET community, and talking about where also in part is the disconnect between physicians and patients. What's important, this was primarily on carcinoid syndrome, what's important to get out there? What are people looking for? One doctor said, we were talking about the drug that has just recently been approved, telotristat, and he said, well, so what if you have one or two less bowel movements in a day? And one of the patients got up and said, well, let me tell you, that really makes a huge difference. What if it's the bowel movement that makes you lie in pain in your bed for an hour, or the one that wakes you up so you can't sleep through the night? And the doctor, I'm sure, who's a long-time specialist, nobody had ever said that to him. And it made a big difference. It made a difference for the patient to say it, and it made a difference for the physician to hear it. With incredible fortune, My cups arrived the day before the symposium, the roundtable. So here we have physicians, patients. We had representatives from the major pharmaceuticals companies there, and another great fortune, I brought all my cups. I was able to share some and have them take them home. These were the things we were talking about with the roundtable. Why is there the gap? What are the knowledge gaps? And the takeaways shared by the panelists. Another thing we did with carcinoid syndrome just this past week was a carcinoid syndrome on live patient education event. Patients were able, anybody who registered for it was able to submit questions in advance. People voted on the questions they most wanted the answers to, and were also able to participate by submitting questions during the event. It was on a Facebook Live simultaneously, and it will also be archived so people can see it if they missed it. This is the first of two of them. And these are the panelists, Dr. Edward Boland, who is a significant NET specialist in the United States, myself, Giovanna, and Mitch. Mitch is a patient and a support group leader, and same with Giovanna. We also had one other patient. And it was an hour. They had hoped, the partner who worked with us, that we would have 100 registrants. We had over 250, and they said they've never seen so many questions. And there were over 110 questions. And that's just what we do.